the engineers at Nissan, we get to test the latest Datsun that gets a breath of fresh turbocharged air, the 280ZX. Yes, I know that the basic 280ZX has been around for over 3 years, but just recently Datsun chose to move this very luxurious and modestly powerful speedster into the elite world of turbocharging. At a base price of over $17,000, it's hardly cheap, yet it's one of the lesser expensive factory turbo sports cars available.
The 280ZX is the latest of the renowned Datsun Z cars, but the car isn't quite the same as it used to be. It used to be known as the world's most affordable sports car, but now has been transformed into a more expensive Grand Touring line. You may even hear them referred to as the Oriental Corvette. The new turbocharged version of the 280ZX is Datsun's attempt to put back some of that old splash into all this new flash. Our snowy setting reveals that there's really very little to distinguish the turbo versions from the ordinary ZX. Paint schemes are similar, and even the aircraft-type ductwork on the hood, first introduced on the turbo, is now standard on all models. Only a few nameplates, special alloy wheels, and high-performance tires betray what's under the hood, a plus if you don't want to advertise your true nature. But just open that forward-hinging hood and your secret is out. There, buried among the maze of hoses, wires, and fuel injection tubing, is the compact and powerful turbocharger. The net result? The 2.8-liter overhead cam inline 6-cylinders output is pushed from 145 to 180 horsepower. Torque, the real measure of power in any car, also jumps from 156 to 202. What that means is a remarkably responsive throttle that can move you from 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds. On the open road, we found the ride of the turbo to be firmer than other ZXs. That means more jolts, but less body sway, just in case you get going a bit too fast around some of your favorite curves. Steering, on the other hand, was not as precise as we'd like, and the power assist seems to kill much of the road feel. As expected, our acceleration test allowed the 280ZX to shine. 40 to 55 miles per hour, our passing test, was clicked off in a quick 4.5 seconds. Our car was equipped with a 3-speed automatic transmission. The standard 5-speed manual would undoubtedly have been faster. From a standing start, you won't have any problems coming up to speed on an expressway on-ramp. This turbo clears 500 feet in 8.5 seconds at 60 miles per hour. Over a quarter mile, our black and silver road rocket recorded a time of 16.8 seconds and 83 miles per hour. The manual version would probably be at least a second faster. Since the standard ZX engine is pretty gutsy anyway, there's little lag before the turbo comes in, giving smoother acceleration. But okay, so it goes well in a straight line. The other half of any sports car equation is how well it handles. The answer is very well, but not perfect. At 3,000 pounds, it does plow a bit into the turn. There's very little body roll due to the stiff suspension, but the light rear end does feel it could come unglued if pushed. The tires, fancy Bridgestones, probably could stand some improvement. If we sound a little hard, it's because with so much power under the hood, you could get into trouble unless the car handles well. On our high-speed emergency lane-changing course, the 280ZX was secure, but it lets you know there's a lot of weight over the front wheels. A bit of hard steering is in order here. We were very pleased, however, with how the Datsun stopped. From 30 miles per hour, it took an average of 45 feet with the driver in secure control. No lock, no fade, no drift. The hotter the brakes, the better they performed. At 55, the stopping distances were a bit longer than we expected, at 168 feet, but you definitely felt you were in control at all times. Datsun hasn't enlarged the brakes to compensate for the higher weight of the turbo version, and that could account for the longer halts. We've moved indoors to show you one of the ZX's best features, the interior. Call it spaceship, call it aircraft style. It's fancy and comfortable, including the multi-adjustable silver leather seats. All gauges are clear and use red lighting at night so all numbers stand out. And there's an audible warning system to prevent common mistakes.
Lights are on.
The radio also gave premium sound and took more than a glance to decipher the various controls. One other item, this ZX has a remote headlight washer, a popular European option not well known here. Our 280ZX was the two-seater, so there is a large expanse at your disposal through the rear glass hatch. Plenty of room for luggage for two. And if you have a family, don't despair. A 2+2 children version is also offered. The final modern test of any car usually turns to such things as economy. Actually, even here the ZX does quite well, at least on paper. The EPA rates this automatic version at 19 city, 25 highway. Our test car was very new, and despite our best efforts, we could manage no more than 14.5 combined. This car is fun, snow or no, but something of a toy. This Datsun is not totally practical. Turbos are hardly needed on a car that has good performance anyway. But it sure was comforting to know that no matter how fast and far you want to go, there still are some dream cars affordable enough to be true.